What's it like to transition to a Cirrus?
Your airspeed's alive, your indicators are showing green. I'm in maintain 8,000. 65 rotate. She's flying.
MzeroA Nation, I did it. It took me 5 flights. Do you believe that? Didn't we were just talking even pros make mistakes? Well, even pros take their time, make it a transition to just another single engine land aircraft. It takes time to make a transition to such a high performance aircraft. When you look at something coming from something as humble as 23 Mike Zulu, and some of you are saying, humble? 23 Mike Zulu is awesome. It is awesome. But coming from a steam gauge aircraft even, or coming from 23 Mike Zulu that's dying on an Avidyne and switching to something like a Cirrus, it takes time. You've heard the phrase falling behind the airplane? Well, when you're traveling as fast as you're flying, and we're flight planning at 160 knots in some cases on these cross countries, it's easy to fall behind the airplane when you've got the head down on the iPad or the head down trying to fiddle with something on the G1000. I had to slow down and study and review these things on the ground and focus on that. It's not only new systems, it's new numbers, new approach speeds, new way to fly, new programming. You know, here I am looking at a PAVE checklist, and I'm safe checklist on top of it going, all these new things. It better be some pretty clear days to go out and fly this. And then, by the way, I want to be instrument, not current, not proficient, but pursuing mastery in it as well, something that I'm still working towards and will always be working towards. So then we pick some real good IFR days to get out there and practice this.
Awesome. Love the safe taxing.
Yeah, it's great.
Well, and just seeing, you see everybody else taxiing around and doing their thing, and
Well, and it's like it's great because you know where you're going,
right?
And they're gonna give you instructions, but like you can just follow it with your finger.
Exactly.
Almost,
well, there's something powerful, and I was doing it like you said, as he's saying, Bravo Delta 23. I'm just in my mind, I'm drawing this line literally of Bravo Delta 23, and I can see it. It makes the read back. It makes the copying that clearance, everything just so much easier. Talk to me about what does that transition to an SR22 look like? And we're watching this video right now are those who've had the privilege to already learn to fly in a Cirrus product, but there's those that this is a dream for them as well. So what is this transition like? I mean, 315 horsepower, that sounds mind-boggling to a lot of people coming from a training environment.
Right. Yeah, for sure. So, I mean, you kind of get the entire gamut, right? You have the whole spectrum of people who I mean, there are those who land, or sorry, who begin to learn in a 22T.
Right, of course.
That happens.
Yes.
It's not frequent, but there are those people.
Yes.
And so that is kind of the one end of the spectrum where you're hopping into a high performance aircraft, and it's going to take longer for your private pilot license. But then once you get that and you know the airplane,
right,
you're going to be that much more comfortable to continue on in your career.
Yeah, very good point.
I mean, I used the comparison when I started in the Air Force. I hopped into a 1100 horsepower T6.
No way.
That's the first one. You fly the Diamond for like 15 hours.
Of course.
But then you're flying a 1100 horsepower T6.
Wow.
And so it's like a turboprop, right?
Yeah.
And you're doing it, and you're soloing and all this stuff. So like you can do it. It's just a matter of what time and monetary comfort level you have with that process, right? More traditionally, I'd say the SR20 to the 22 is kind of the ideal learning profile,
right?
Because the 20 is a little bit less power. It's about 215 horsepower. It's slower, smaller fuel tanks, so your range is a little bit less.
Right, but the flight characteristics are similar, right?
So yeah.
As a fellow flight instructor, the primacy is power, right? So having this as my primacy, that makes life a little bit easier in that transition as well.
Exactly.
This takes time. Put it in the chat, put it in the comments. Who's ever made a transition to a Cirrus to just a high performance aircraft, maybe even just a different aircraft? It can prove to be so challenging sometimes. And you know me, I love sitting in the right seat. Sometimes having to bounce between the right seat and the left seat as well. It provides all these unique challenges.
So talk to me a little bit about the turbo now aspect. I haven't done any, all my 22 times been naturally aspirated here, so talk to me about some turbo advantages. Why should a guy from Florida have a turbo?
So the way I approach the turbo in Florida is it's not a necessity,
right.
But it is a luxury. So, what you get with the turbo is better performance and capability, really. And so you get a 25,000 foot ceiling if you're preparing for jet training to kind of get more familiar and accustomed to that environment, right?
Right.
In Class A airspace, talking to ATC and doing all that whole thing. You also get better climb performance.
Yes.
So, you're going to see, usually you'll see 1,000 feet per minute plus all the way up to, to whatever altitude you're climbing to.
Really?
Whereas the 22 NA, you are degrading the performance the higher you go.
Oh yeah, totally get that. And you feel it.
Yep, and so you get that better climb performance, and then thirdly, you get better speed the higher you are.
Yes.
And that's just the turbochargers at work, which allows you to kind of take advantage of the tailwinds that you can find and get places quicker. And I think the Cirrus also kind of helps with that comfort level, because I can pull up the live weather, the METAR at any airport in the U.S. right now. So if we look here, this is our MFD on the right-hand side, and you can see the processing speeds of the NXI are super fast. You can look anywhere in the country and find, the weather systems, and say I wanted to look at the METAR in Nashville right now. So I'd scroll down to VNA, and there's your METAR at Nashville right now. It's, 290, 6 knots, 10 miles viz, scattered 25,000. Boom. If I want to look at the radar, I can go down here and find a storm system. I'm going to zoom in over here. Let's find some red. Here we go. And if I zoom in here and put my cursor over the little top, it'll show the top 30,000 feet. It's moving 39 knots, so it's moving pretty quickly. And so what this allows you to do is formulate that big picture, what's actually happening in front of you, so that you can start to make those strategic decisions, and you're not always kind of reduced to the tactical level, reactive decision-making process.
What I want you to walk away from knowing all of this is aviation is, in a unique way, all about challenging yourself just a little bit. Not so far beyond your abilities that you hurt yourself, but challenging yourself just a little bit. And my Cirrus checkout was a challenge. I got to go back to flight school in a way, and got to go back to some ground school, and back to just, it was so rewarding to be the student again. You spend so much time teaching. It was so great to be taught, and you all teach me stuff. I read every single comment on webinars, everything else. You all teach me so much. There's something special about being taught too, and learning something new and bettering my skills as I grow as a flight instructor and as I grow as an aviator. Upgrading to a high performance aircraft, a tailwheel aircraft, a complex aircraft. What's next for you? That's what I really want to end this video talking about. What is next for you in your journey? Maybe you've been scrolling on controller.com looking at Cirruses all day. Me too. Magda has too. She's over there waving her hand too. We have been. It's awesome. But what's next for you? It is a new year. What's the new you, the new aviator in you going to be like? What's that aircraft you want to own or put into a club or just fly or get checked out in? That's what we're really after. Making that transition to a faster aircraft is amazing. Some of you might be saying, I want a slower airplane now. I want to enjoy this, whatever that may be for you. Put it in the comments section below. Have a blessed, amazing, outstanding rest of your day. And most importantly, remember, the good pilot is always learning. Have a great day, everybody. We'll see ya. Jason again. Hey, listen, if you think these videos are amazing, and I hope you're loving the 31 Day Safer Pilot Challenge, but if you think the free videos we put out here on YouTube are amazing, wait until you see inside of our online ground school. MzeroA has you covered for private, instrument, commercial, and your fundamentals of instructing, exams, written tests, check rides, and making you that safe real-world pilot. Take a 2-week free trial of it. No strings attached, no credit card needed at MzeroAtrial.com. I look forward to seeing you in there, seeing you on the member-only webinars, which we do each week, and seeing you just excelling in 2022 in your aviation journey.